The AP Lang exam is next Wednesday, so let's talk about some things that you can do this weekend to help you study. Idea number one is to watch a couple documentaries. This could potentially help you with evidence for Q3. Now, I can't promise that it's going to help completely because you never know if that documentary will line up as evidence for the prompt you're given, but it's not going to hurt anything if you're over-prepared and just can't use that. If you have any documentary recommendations that would be student-friendly for high school, things that you've liked, let us know in the comments what the documentary was and also which streaming service it's on. Tip number two is to practice writing. So I would recommend the past exam prompts. That's what you can search for. From the College Board, I would do anything from like 2018 to 2024. I wouldn't go much before 2018 because the wording and some of the expectations have changed. I would time yourself for at least one essay just to practice your pacing. If you have more time, I would actually try to do a double essay, meaning pick two essays. So maybe like a Q2 and a Q3 and time yourself for that. So for the timing, if you're doing synthesis, you'd want to give yourself about 55 minutes. That would include time to read the sources and write. For question two, rhetorical analysis, I usually have my students do between like 40 and 45 minutes. And then for argument, which is question three, between 35 and 40 minutes, including the planning. I know some students are going to want to get ready for multiple choice, so if you have access to AP Classroom and your teacher has assigned progress checks or practice exams, you can do those. And if the settings are such that you can actually see the correct answers, look at the explanations for any of the questions that you've gotten wrong. You can even go back and look at old ones and just kind of see how they were expecting you to answer it and why. I think that can be helpful as far as understanding answer traps. And then, of course, if there are specific skills that you need help with, feel free to binge watch Coach Hall Writes over on the platform with longer videos. I have a ton of playlists over there. Also, I've got lots of content here on this app, and I'm going to be answering questions throughout the weekend, hopefully going live a couple times, we'll see. So if you have questions, leave them in the comments here too, and I'll do my best to respond to as many of them as I can and maybe do some more video responses as well.